recording. All right, so it is June 21st, and we have a very, very special guest speaker on the call with us today. I first want to, thank everyone for coming on, taking time away from your family. I know how important this is, to have your free time, so I 100% appreciate all of you guys on the call. Just a couple quick announcements. It is June 21st, and so guys, there's still plenty of time to hit Success Club this month. That should be your goal this month. Every single month, that's our goal, to help three people, get on track with their goals. And we have amazing programs on sale. Our top programs are on sale: 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme, both with Shakeology for $140. And then obviously those programs as well with a package with a 3-day refresh and Shakeology for $180. So definitely just great, great programs on sale this month. So make sure that you are talking to people, inviting people, and of course, most importantly, as I always say over and over again, following up with people. Super, super important. So I want to give our speaker plenty of time. I want you guys, think of questions as she's speaking. And just kind of you can either write them in the chat box, or we'll open it up for questions at the end. So I'm super excited to have Elyse Hubbard here with me, joining us all the way from Hawaii. So she is on a completely different time zone. So thank you so much, Elyse, for coming on. Elyse started when I started. We're both going up on our 3-year anniversary in July. And I remember, and some of you guys, I know a bunch of you guys follow Elyse on Instagram. So I know this is a big deal for you guys. A big part of my team, Elyse, grows on Instagram. So they really do kind of follow you. You're definitely someone that they've definitely looked at. So for those of you who do not know, Elyse is a 6-star diamond. She is a 2-time elite coach, which is amazing. This is someone who has never, ever missed Success Club 10, ever, in her 3 years of coaching from month 1. She is a military wife. And so for those of you, she is a military wife, and she is a mom to 3 boys. And so so that's phenomenal. And she's someone who I've seen her, through her journey of her last child. So just someone that has genuinely shared herself authentically on social media, and it has done nothing but prove to be rewarding for her and fulfilling for her this business. So with that said, Elyse, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away.
All right, I was stuffing my face while that music was playing, so I gotta breathe. All right, so it's 3 o'clock for me in the afternoon. I'm in Hawaii time zone, So my topic that I'm going to cover you guys is Recruiting 101, and I'm going to show you how I built my business on Instagram and how I show my team. And so when I say recruiting, I'm talking about everything, right? Because our number one job is inviting. But before I get into that, I just, thank you, Stephanie, for that introduction. I want to tell you guys a little bit about my story, because I think that's always important to hear where a coach came from. So I started my business in 2013, just like Stephanie says. I was the coach that told every coach on Instagram to go F off, and that's the truth. I really, really was turned off by the business because I knew what clean eating was when I came into this. I was on Instagram, I'm Paleo Fit Juicing Chick. So I was dabbling in juicing, and I was obese my entire life. So when I started my Instagram, it's because I was hiding. I wanted to try to lose the weight on my own, which I started to. I have an array of former eating disorders, and I've lost 100 pounds. And that was after my second child is when I started my Instagram, and that's when I finally was able to make a lifestyle change. And so what happened to me is I started this business because of the income, right? So you'll see some coaches who come into this business and they don't start off in a challenge group. I'm that 30%, right? So 70% of your diamond coaches will come out of your challenge groups, right? 30% of diamonds are people like me. So I'm that 30% who came into the business because they wanted to just build right out the gate. And the reason that I'm that person is because there was a day where I was in the grocery store. I got out of the military because just for various reasons, and I wanted to stay home with my kids. So we're dual military. And we were in the grocery store one day, and this is when I had gotten out, and we were on one income, and it was very hard. We took half a paycheck, like out of what we were getting after I got out, it went down to half. And so we were on government aid. We had to stand in food bank lines on base for my kids' diapers, and it was very hard on one income. So we were in the grocery store, and my then 3-year-old was in tears because I was trying to explain to him that he could not have this super expensive, organic, out of season carton of strawberries because it would have been better for us to get oranges and bananas. So I was in tears, he was in tears, and I went home. It still makes me want to cry. Just had a baby, so I'm still emotional. That day, I told my husband, I don't know what I'm doing, but I kind of think I want to do this thing, Shakeology, I don't know about it, but, I actually asked my dad to pay a bill because we were that broke so I could start Beachbody. So my coach, I only signed up with her because she was the first person to ask me. She was the first person to really follow me on Instagram and be consistent. Okay? So with that being said, I always, she knows she's a very sweet person, but has she ever helped me? No. Okay? I have surpassed her in rank. I've surpassed her in income. We just don't have the same goals, right, with this business. So with that being said, I want you guys to know that if I can do this, then you can do this, and Beachbody has provided you with all the tools. I was pissed off for a very long time about not having the support that I thought everybody had. And then I realized, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. Beachbody, if I want it bad enough, Beachbody, provides me everything. So the learning is in the doing, and I honestly learned as I went. And you can ask my first coaches that are still around. The way I teach my team now, I didn't even know how to do any of that. So I'm still learning, still growing. Stephanie did my team call yesterday, and I don't even use Streak. So that's something new. Like I only learn from what I seek out. And so you have to be very proactive. Last year, the first person I ever hired was an accountant because I come from nothing. Like, I hate school. I hate all that kind of stuff. I'm not good with numbers. I just want to talk to people. So the first person I ever hired, my business started taking off, was an accountant. And this past January, she did, sent over our taxes. And I found out that we went from nothing, broke, having to ask my dad for money to join Beachbody, to now I hit the 6-figure mark. And remember, I started in July of 2013. And we're living, comfortably now. We're stationed in Hawaii, and I've been able to fly home. Tickets are expensive, you guys. It's so expensive. And I honestly told my family, once we move to Hawaii, I'm probably not going to see you because there's no way I can fly home. And I remember like a year and a half into being here, I've picked up the phone, and I recorded myself telling my grandma I was going to come home, and she was in tears. And it's only because of Beachbody I've been able to do that kind of stuff. We don't have any more car payments because we paid that off. So make little financial goals as you go, and it'll help you to reach your goals with this business. How many people do I have to help to reach this certain goal? So with that being said, you guys, I do personal development every single day. I am the coach who wakes up at 3:00 in the morning to pump for my 4-month-old, and I'm in the gym from 4 to 6 because I committed to now being on a bodybuilding journey. I do everything that I ask my team to do. Personal development, drink my Shakeology, do my workout, check my groups. I'm pretty much like a robot when it comes to that kind of stuff. If I have a day I need to take a nap, I have that day. I don't need to post it all over social media, and I still post. I post no matter what, non-negotiably. I've had people in my life, taken away from me. I've had, just little tragedies here and there. And I can tell you guys, I have stayed consistent with posting. If I even tell my followers, you know what, I'm moving, I'm going to be in the air for 13 hours. I can't post, but you know what? You're going to see a picture of my baby inside a moving box. And I'm telling everybody I am moving and I will be back later. So that's the one thing that I've never skipped out on, most of all, is posting. You cannot close your business. And if you stop posting, you're closing your business. So consistency is key. And if I can do it, you know, definitely anybody can do it. You guys, I come from the Mexican hood, like seriously, and I hate school. And if I can do it, like anybody can do it. So did I cover what you wanted me to cover about my story, Stephanie? All right. So, all right, let's start talking about recruiting, you guys, especially since you guys are an Instagram team. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And just go ahead, and I'm more than happy to answer questions, you know, if you want to ask in the chat box or, you know, after we're done. All right. Okay. So I'm not going to go over like the basics of this call because I kind of feel like, you know, if you guys want to know what Emerald is and whatnot, you can go ahead and go back into that. So I'm going to get into the meat of this call. All right. So recruiting 101. When I talk about recruiting, I'm talking about everything, you guys. Your number one job as a coach is inviting. You have to invite, right? So with that being said, you should be posting, you should be working on you. I've had coaches say this business is not working for me, right? You need to keep it real with yourself. You need to look, am I posting? Am I getting results myself? Even if you don't need to lose a significant amount of weight, you can have results in different aspects of your life so people can trust you. This business is a relationship building business. And if it's not moving forward, if you're not making an income, it has to do with you, right? You're not posting, you're not doing your personal development. You need to reach out to your coach and have them help you or your team. So, I don't know if you guys ever seen this picture. I use this a lot. There's different types of coaches, right? So there's discount coach, hobby coach, business builder. Is that an actual thing in the back office? No, but I like to use this picture to show people when I need, you know, a placeholder in my business, if I'm trying to, you know, hold a diamond somewhere, or if I'm just trying to move somebody over to get the idea planted in their head to become a coach. So, this is, you know, the three different types of coaches, right? So like I said, sometimes I just show people this if I need a placeholder. So say, for example, you've had a challenge member for a month almost, right? And you have a list. You should have a list, you guys, of people who are on HD to convert them over to coaches. If you don't have a list, then you're probably losing out on converting people over to coaches, right? You need to every month go over that list and show them, you know, hey, you could be getting the discount. You need to, the fourth vital behavior is recognition. If you continuously, you know, praise somebody and tell them how great they're doing, then maybe they'll want to become a hobby coach. And this is a good picture to use that Melanie Mitchell made so you can show people the different types of coaching to make yourself more comfortable covering it. All right, so where's the best place to start, right? So I kind of said that already. The best place to start to build your team is in your challenge group. So I said at the beginning when I told you guys my story that 70% of your diamonds, of Beachbody diamonds, period, in you know, overall have come from a challenge group. And the reason behind that is because, you know, you need to be product of the product. And when people get amazing results, then naturally they want to know, okay, well, people are asking me, how am I doing this, right? What does it take to be a coach? And really that starts with you, okay? So if you're posting in your challenge group relentlessly, if you're helping people relentlessly, they're gonna get results, right? Because you have them set up with no excuses. So take pen to paper. Oh, excuse me, I did that on accident. So take pen to paper and write each person's name out and the last time that they placed their Shakeology order, right? So if you have not done this, you really need to. I'm sure there's a place in Streak that Stephanie showed you that you can keep track in some kind of way of your current challenge members and who's on HD, right? Like I said, your challenge members understand why and how products work. They set goals and commit to achieve them. They provide motivation and accountability to other members, and they have developed pre-success stories to share with others, okay? So in my challenge group, non-negotiably, every time I sign up a challenge member, I tell them, you know what, I'm a hard ASS. I don't want to cuss in case there's kids on, but I'm a hard ASS, and I'm not going to stop bugging you until you show me a screenshot of your personal development book that I sent over, that I told you to get. And I always tell them, you go to the library and it's free, right? If they can't afford it, it's free. You can go to the library. And if they're a Christian, the book that I tell them to get you guys is called Made to Crave, because that's going to help them with food issues, right? And if not, then the other book that I recommend for them to get is Question Behind the Question. And those two books will help them understand how to have no excuses and to really own this. And so that's what I start all my challenge members on, and my coaches, because I want them to start working on them, period. So if you set them up right and you hound them about their personal development and to send you a picture that they did it, I guarantee you that you're gonna have really good success with your challenge members, and they're gonna convert over to a coach eventually for the discount or to actually build the business. So that's where it really starts, you guys, with personal development. Okay, what should you already be doing? You should be praising your challenge members. You should be inviting them to hear more about the coaching opportunity, checking in regularly on them and inviting them, and even sending them handwritten thank you cards, right? And thanking them for investing in you with their journey, right? So maybe make it a point for you to every day, I'm going to write at least one note to somebody and send it out. And it's really easy, even if it's just a blank piece of paper, you guys, it means so much to people to get a handwritten note just saying, thank you for trusting me with your journey. It goes a long way. A lot of people really join this business because they just want to feel a part of something. I'm a hermit. I stay in my house all the time. I don't talk to anybody really unless I'm at the park and talking to a fellow mom. And even then I like to keep to myself. So I know it kind of sounds sad, but I like my Beachbody family, and a lot of moms, a lot of people are like me, and they need that. They need to feel that sense of community. I'm not an ER doctor. I'm not around a whole bunch of people all the time like Stephanie is. So my world's a little different, and it means a lot to me to have my social media community. So a handwritten note goes a long way, you guys. All right. So what should I say to a challenge member who would make a great coach or could become a discount coach? I'm going to provide Stephanie with my slideshow so you guys can look at my scripts. But I think, as a seasoned coach, I forget to teach my coaches this a lot. And that's why I made this, because I think they forget the different aspects of recruiting, and so this is where it really starts. You have to remember to invite, right? And so just because you have your challenge group doesn't mean that people are naturally going to say, hey, Stephanie, can I sign up with you to be a coach? Like, you still need to invite even your customers that are existing right now. So, every Friday for me is progress check-in, right? So I have two challenge groups. One is a graduate group where I put everybody who's ever purchased a challenge pack. It's not a free group. You've had to have purchased a challenge pack. And they go in there, and I never kick them out. I never have kicked them out. I have like 300 people in there since I first started being a coach. And it's just a safe place for my coaches to go, just in case they need back on their journey. And then it's there because people are going to fall off, but if you're there for them, they're going to always come back to you. And I always have people come back to me because they know that I've done everything for them. And the reason that they've fallen off is really because of their actions, and they always come back. So in my second challenge group is I have a focus group for anybody who's new and who's never used the containers. I don't care what program they use, as long as they're eating clean, they're using the containers, and they're doing Shakeology. I don't care what the program is. So basically, when I have my focus challenge group, I make sure that I have a list of people who are new clients, and I keep that on a whiteboard. I'm very visual, so I use a whiteboard, and I keep a list of my clients who are new 4 months back. So every time I'm sitting on my computer or I have my power hour, I can look up at it on Fridays and I can say, okay, well, this is my list of new clients. These are the people that I should be checking on, just to make sure that they know that I'm here for them, right? At least within their first 30 days, those people are your babies. So here's a sample right here. Sounds like things are going great for you. I'm so excited that you've done so well, and that you whatever, lost 100 pounds, lost 20 pounds, whatever it is, you know, that you fit back into your jeans. I'm not sure if this is right for you or not, but since you're doing so well, I have to ask, have you ever considered being a coach and joining my team? I think you'd be great, right? So you have to ask. Please, please, please don't forget, just because they're in your challenge group does not mean that they're going to automatically like see your post for coaching or anything like that. You have to ask, you guys. And then, you know, here's my other scripts, but you know, I'll give Stephanie access to it so you guys don't have to scramble and write it down. But my main point is make sure you have a list of your challenge members who are on HD and they're not coaches, and invite them all the time. Send them more information, right? If they say that they're interested, right, they want to know more, you should send them your webinar about what it means to be a coach, or your upline webinar, or the short 10-minute video from Team Beachbody, right? And inside my slideshow, you can click on the link and you can have the 10-minute video. But for a long time, I did not have my own webinar, and I was just afraid, so I used another coach's. And so basically in the back office, you guys, if you don't have your own webinar about what it means to coach, and you're in the back office, it's all set up for you, and all you do is fill in your information and put in your pictures. And what you do is just get on Zoom and pretend like you're talking to somebody, and you just record yourself until you feel comfortable enough and you get it, and then you upload it to YouTube, and that's it. Right? That's it. That's all I had to do. And for a year and a half, I used another coach's. And I was like, why didn't I just make my own? So when you send them over information, or right, make sure that you keep the ball in your court always. And here's a sample. Great. Go ahead and watch this video. I'll follow up with you first thing in the morning to see what you thought about it. Sound good? I'm excited to chat with you more. Okay, so all these scripts, make sure they sound like you. You don't sound like a robot like I did just now, right? Read it out loud. If it doesn't sound like you, don't use it, tweak it. But basically, you need to make sure that you know when you're following up with them. If you say, I'm going to check in with you in 2 days, what happens is you take that uncomfortableness, am I saying that right? Uneasiness of following up away from yourself, and you take it away from them, so they're not like, oh, she's bugging me, or you don't feel like you're bugging them. They know, okay, yeah, she told me she's going to come back, so I'm going to watch this, right? And it's that easy. You got to be relentless. You have to make sure that they watch. They're going to have, you know, their kids and baby mamas and all this drama happen in their life. Like, you got to follow up with people. You have to follow up. All right. So if they only want the discount and they're ready to start right now, right? There's different options. And if you're a seasoned coach, you already know this, but if you're a brand new coach, I'm going to go ahead and go over it. So there's free enrollment, right? Because they already purchased the challenge pack, right? There's the challenge pack enrollment that this is going to be their last time to ever get a challenge pack, right? If they're a regular client, sign them up with the challenge pack as a coach. And then also there's going to be I don't even want to go over that one because everybody needs a challenge pack. All right. I just want you guys to be relentless. Sign everybody up with the challenge pack. That's where they need to start. Seriously. All right. So how do I find coaches who are not challenge members? So Stephanie and I work a little differently. Since she did my team call yesterday, I found out, you know, I guess I teach my team a little different. So just hold your questions to the end if I go over something that you don't understand, but this is how I work on Instagram. So you need to be very intentional with your posts. So here's a sample of, there's different types of posts, right? There's soft posts, there's hard posts. And this is a sample of a soft post, right? Or I discuss how coaching helps me to lead a life by design as a stay-at-home mom. And I didn't realize this when I started, but I'm a very good storyteller, and you guys need to start learning how to mini blog if you haven't already and become a very good storyteller, right? So this is one from a while back, but like I have a very, very boring life. Like It's very boring, but I love it, and it's my life. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I cook and I clean, and that's like, I mean, the exciting thing that I do is like, I just got my hair cut. Like, ooh, that's exciting, right? So just, that's what I want though. Like, I want to stay at home with my kids. So I make sure that I remember that's who I'm attracting, right? And I talk about that. So Stephanie last night on my team call, she said, you know, could I attract a mom? Could I attract, you know, a race car driver? Could I attract whatever? Yes, but I'm going to focus on my niche. I want to attract healthcare providers because that's what I'm strong with. So I want to attract moms, right? That's what I relate most to. So I make sure that I say points like, this is a life of a stay-at-home working mom looks like, and like, I'm just chilling here in a hat. Yesterday I made a post about, you know what, this time I'm the first one to see my baby has a new tooth coming in. When it was my first baby, the daycare provider told me, right? So I make sure that everything that I can think of, I say that, right? So this is a soft post where I'm just talking about how coaching has changed my life, right? But I'm storytelling. This is a hard post. This is a coach on my team. And this is like a super hard post. Like, she's saying, I'm having a sneak peek on Monday. Do you want to know? Like, everything's in the picture. And if somebody's interested, then they'll read the caption, right? So your caption doesn't even really matter with this kind of stuff. Like, it's all right there. People are going to see the picture. And I really highly encourage you to never, ever, ever, ever post a picture without your face in it, or like with this kind of stuff, because if you post a picture with your face, it's going to draw them in more to read your caption, and that's just like marketing, period. So this is just a sample of a hard post, and I'm sure you guys have seen them and you do them all the time, but you need to be intentional, right? On Instagram, the way it works, you guys, is your posts only live for about 24 hours. Once you've posted on Instagram, that's it, right? It's not like on Facebook where you can bump it if somebody comments. If you're going to do this on Facebook, the algorithms are different. I would say post about the coaching opportunity once a week. But you know what? On Instagram, you can go back and you can delete it. You can, if you post at, 6 o'clock in the morning, well, hey, you know what? Maybe a mom who's making her kids breakfast missed it. But if you post at noon, her kids are asleep and she's, scrolling on her Instagram having mom time, right? You know what I mean? So you need to think about stuff like that, and you can delete it and try to post again, see what times work for you. On Instagram, I, am a little bit more relentless. And like I said, you can go back and delete it if you feel like it's too redundant. All right, this is another hard post, right? So this is where I'm specifically telling everybody about my story, and I want you guys, you can't really see it, I know it's so small, but you need to make sure that you post the income disclaimer, right? I post the income disclaimer now at the bottom of my picture. Anytime, like if you're iffy about it, post the income disclaimer, just put it on there, right? So this is when I found out that I was pregnant, and I had no idea that I made 6 figures until my accountant sent me over the numbers, and I was like, oh, that's why my taxes are so high. But anyways, I was just happy, and I went, I just made a post that from being able to afford groceries to paying off loans, I used to think it was icky, right? I used to think, people don't want to hear about this, but that's part of my story. What happened to me is there's a Facebook page in the wall. There's a Facebook group called The Wall, and only elite coaches are allowed in there, right? So I got put into that group, and I really got lost when I became an elite coach. I saw all these coaches, and they had, wind blowing in their hair, and you just see all these different types of coaches, and you hear coaches say like, oh, I'm never going to post my income because that's not, like, people don't even know, and that's not me. Well, I lost myself for a long time because of that. And what I had to remember is that I'm the mom that couldn't afford groceries, right? And other moms that are following me need to know my income, how it's grown. So I don't care. I don't care if there's a coach out there who thinks that me posting my income is bad, right? If they're an elite coach, if they've been a coach longer than me, this is my business. I'm my own CEO. I'm feeding my kids, right? I make my own rules. So just be who you are. As long as it comes from your heart, right? And you know that you're in this business to really help other people, it's going to be okay, right? If it ever starts to become icky, then you need to check yourself. Am I really being humble? Am I, staying grounded? And that's who I'm always going to be. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I want to attract other moms, right? So I just cut all my hair off because I just want to have more time with my kids in the morning, and my baby won't let me fix my hair, and I still want to feel sexy for my husband. Like, that's just the truth. So, but other moms, like, it works for me. You know what I mean? All right. So this is another coach on my team. This is Angel Farley. This girl, I know she's going to be elite. She blows it up every month. So she has a different style than me. She posts stuff like she's looking for a business partner. The reason that I like this post is because she's very confident in her delivery. Even though she's not an elite coach yet, like, she knows she's boss, and you have to have that confidence of walking the walk, before you're even there. And that's something that, I tell people, before I even became an elite coach, I was just like, I know, your results with this business and your results with your journey is a reflection of me. And yes, I'm going to do everything that I said that I'm going to do, and you're going to get amazing results. Like, people are going to feel off of your energy, right? So if you're hype about it, if you post boss, right? If you know you're your own CEO, right? If you talk that way, if you say business partner, if you remember, like, this is really $1 million business, you guys, people are going to feel that in your post, in the way that you type, in your energy, and they're going to know that they're joining something special. Whereas, if you kind of make a post where you're like, I'm having a sneak peek into this coaching thing, and you treat it like a hobby, people are going to get that energy from it, and they're going to be like, she probably makes like, a couple dollars here and there and whatever, right? She's doing this stupid Beachbody thing, right? Like, people really feel off your energy. So think about your posts. You really are looking for business partners. That's what your team is. They're your business partners, right? So this is a different kind of post. Just try different things, make different types of hard posts, change it up, right? You can go to my Instagram or my Facebook, and my Facebook, I don't really, it's the same as Instagram, but it's not popping as much as my Instagram. But you can go look at my Instagram and see, like, I post different things all the time. Every little piece of my life I want to share, because maybe that day somebody happens to read that little piece, and that's what they connect with, right? So when I made my post about my kid, his tooth coming in, I had 2 people message me, right? Well, another day, if I post about groceries, maybe I'll have nobody message me. You know what I mean? Like, you got to switch it up to just see what works, and people need to hear all the little pieces of your story. Those 2 people messaged me because they just had babies and they want that, But if I posted about my groceries, maybe they're like, they're not going to connect to that at that time. Does that make sense what I'm saying? All right. So what do I do after I've made a post about the coaching opportunity? So this is where me and Stephanie's style differ. She said that she posts, and if somebody reaches out to her, then they reach out to her. Well, I have my coaches be even more proactive, and I have them go through their likes. You said you don't do that, right? No, okay. So this might be different for you guys. So if you're a brand new coach, right, and you're like, I just don't, like, nobody's reaching out to me, I want to let you know that I've never missed Success Club 10, and people do not fall into my lap. I do not have a time. There's never a time ever in all the months that I've been coaching where Success Club 10 just comes at me. Like, I have to be proactive about it. What I mean by that is if nobody comes to me, right, I go through my likes. So every time I'm doing my power hour, you guys, my goal is to talk to 5 new people a day. So what I do is I start by going through my likes for a post and reviewing who liked it, right? I make sure that I comment on at least one of their pictures and make sure that they're not already working with another like coach or multi-level marketing or whatever. So so when I go through my likes, say I saw, okay, Stephanie, she liked my post, right? I'm going to go to her account on Instagram and I'm going to see, okay, what kind of person is Stephanie? Is she a Beachbody coach already? Is she an It Wraps person? Is she like cats? Like, what is she? And if I can see that we connect, right, I'm going to send her a message, a direct message, and I want to say something like this. Hey, you, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for following and supporting my journey. It means so much to me that you support me. I saw you like my post about how I can stay at home with my kiddo and work from home. I'm not sure if this will be something for you, but I would love to send you over more info about what it is I do so you can see if it's a right fit. No pressure, of course, but I'm on a mission to help as many as I can overcome like I have. Get back to me when you can, and I hope you're having a great day, right? So I do this intently. Like, say if I have a sneak peek, then I want to invite as many people as I can. Sometimes people, it doesn't cross their mind, but I know if they're following me, that they like me, and that three things are going to happen. One, they're not going to respond. Two, they're going to respond and say yes. Or three, they're going to respond and say, oh, no, it's not for me. But then you're going to be able to talk to them about their personal journey, right? So those are the three things that are going to happen. I've always been okay with that. But because they click like, I know that they like me. Like, I know they genuinely, like, they're going to be okay with me messaging them. So there's a rhyme to my script. I always tell them thank you. I always tell them what I noticed, right? I noticed you like this post, whatever the post is. It doesn't have to be about coaching. It could be whatever. Hey, I noticed you like my transformation picture. Do you follow me because you're on a journey of your own, right? And then the last thing that I say is, get back to me when you can, whatever, right? But I always ask a question, and there's, I go through my likes. So you need to talk to new people every day, and that's how I do it. That's what I do during my power hours. I just talk to new people through direct message. This is very, very big, you guys. Direct messaging is so new that a lot of people still don't know about it. You don't get an alert. You just have to see the little box, right? So very, very important step when you are purposely messaging people and trying to talk to them. Go to one of their pictures and just say something simple, right? Hey girl, just sent you a direct message here on Instagram. Hope to hear back from you soon and hope you're having a great day. P.S. Super cute kiddo. Love his smile on their picture, right? So this is a relationship building business, right? If you're going to use Instagram, that's cool. But I'm sure Stephanie has training on how to do it without sounding icky or I don't promote Instagram because I have too many coaches who come into the business and they just, I don't want them to use Instagram improperly, right? So this is how I show my team how to talk to new people, period. And then also if you have a coach who comes into the business with no money, right, you can still make this work, but you've got to be proactive. So this is how I talk to new people every day, right? Do I talk to them hoping that I'm going to sell them a challenge pack? No, but this is just how you're going to talk to people, right? So with that being said, the only way you're going to talk to them is if you're posting, if you're being consistent. You need to have some kind of likes to go into to see who's following you. You need to use hashtags. If you're using hashtags and it's not working for you and you're just attracting other multi-level marketing people, well, then you need to figure out who your avatar is and you need to tweak your hashtags, right? So it's just all a process. All right, so what if they say yes, right? You always remember to build the relationship, right? Ask them what they have, what's interesting, what has them interested most. So even if you're asking them and they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Say, oh, cool, I'm so excited. I definitely want to send that over. But first, what has you interested? What has you saying yes? The more I know about you, the better mentor I can be for you, the better coach I can be for you. Do you like fitness? Do you want to do this for your kids? You always want to know somebody's why. So whenever they say no, maybe at the end or not right now, even after everything, you can overcome their objections, right? You can reconnect them with their why. Something else that I show my team is how to reach people, period. Say you're a brand new coach. You don't have an Instagram. You don't have a Facebook. You don't have anything, right? How do I reach people? How do I talk to people, period, right? So something that I teach my team is called going fishing, right? So you need to seek out potential people by going through hashtags that you would go through, right? So say, I'm 31. Back in my day, right? Let's say Backstreet Boys, right? So I'm going to go into the hashtag Backstreet Boys. And I'm going to see who used that hashtag. Maybe there's a mom out there who just happened to use it, who is similar to me that I could just strike up a conversation with. Hey, so funny. I was going through the Backstreet Boys hashtag and I saw we have a lot in common, whatever. Like just strike up a conversation with somebody and put them down as a new contact. That everybody in the whole world needs health and fitness. Everybody, right? You cannot function without your health. So your number one goal every single day is to make a new friend, right? You need to build the relationship with people, okay? So if you're a brand new coach, you have no Instagram, you have no Facebook, there's hope for you. You can go through hashtags and go fishing and just strike up a conversation with somebody and eventually lead that back to health and fitness. Oh, you know what? Actually, I started my Instagram because I'm on a health and fitness journey. Do you work out? Like, are you into health and fitness? And then naturally people say things like, oh no, girl, I don't got time for that. Or actually, yes, or whatever. And that's how you just start talking to people, you guys. If you're in this for the money, it's not going to work. You have to be willing to help yourself and then put that into other people and just build a relationship. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to give you guys access to my slides, but I just, the whole point of the reason that I made that recruiting 101 is because I wanted my team to see that when you say recruiting, it doesn't mean like people are going to fall into your lap and I'm doing a sneak peek. And so I'm just going to, if people say yes, then that's it. Like every single day, your goal on your power hour should be to invite at least one person to hear about the coaching opportunity in some kind of way. If you do one person at least 4 days a week and intentionally invite them to the coaching opportunity, you're going to see success, right? If you're doing everything that you should be doing and you just make it a goal, and if you have pen and paper right now, just make it a goal. At least 4 days a week, once a day, I'm going to invite somebody to the coaching opportunity in some kind of way, okay? Because there's top coaches in this business that only do their power hour 4 days a week. It's called the power of 4, and it works for them. And that's their rule. At least one person for those 4 days, I'm inviting them to the coaching opportunity in some kind of way. And I just gave you guys so many different outlets to build your team. There's so many different ways to do it. You have to be intentional. You have to invite. So let me see the chat box. All right. I'm just going to leave it open, I guess, Stephanie, or do you want to ask questions, or what do you want to do?
So it looks like one question that is that, do you only invite, no, I'm sorry, for the chat, for your, I'm assuming she's asking for your challenge group. So for your challenge group, do they have to be challenge pack orders, or if they're like, let's say they bought Shakeology, or for your focus?
So for me, I only, I'm non-negotiable with challenge packs, you guys. Like, the only reason somebody gets by me with purchasing Shakeology only or getting a program only is because they just found my name and called Beachbody and told them. Like, my business is called Just Eat Real Food, right? So Shakeology is the foundation of my business. I always tell people you can't out-exercise poor nutrition. And so I know you see some coaches and they're like, you got to finish your program and do it from start to beginning and blah, 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 whatever. Like, I'm the person who likes to go in the gym and I want to lift and I just want to be like drenched and, so I want to spend 2 hours, and that's the kind of people that I attract. And I know that it's about food. And so I tell them, I don't care what program you do. So for me, as far as like inviting, I'll invite anybody who's interested. But when I was talking about inviting for my challenge group, is I keep a list of people who are not already a coach, who are on HD, because I want to remind them, hey, you know what? I just noticed that next week your 30 days is up. Have you thought about, becoming a coach or saving money or whatever, so they can convert over to a coach. If they say, oh, I just want it for the discount, you know what? I still make them a welcome picture, and I put them into my my coach group, and I call them a VIP coach or a VIP challenge member, or because they're, you want to treat them special, right? So you can have a lot of coaches who just go in for the discount, but because you put them in your team page and they're watching, something might spark in them and they're like, you know what, I can do this or whatever, right? And I've had that happen to me a lot.
Elyse, do you ever invite, I think Annalise is also asking, in terms of inviting for the coaching opportunity, are you only inviting those who have purchased from you? I think I know the answer to this, but are you all in terms of
everybody.
Right, you invite everyone, even if, so you may sign up someone as a discount coach okay, that's what I thought. And then Tony asks, how do you deal with your coaches that do not work or are not proactive? Do you just move on and recruit and work with the willing?
Yes, okay, so your team learns from what you do, okay? So if you're not doing your power hour, right? If you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not getting results, well, then they're not going to do it either. Right? So did you guys feel that wave like 2 months ago where it was like, dang, like, why is nobody hitting Success Club? Why is network? Like, didn't you feel that? Right? So I felt that in my team too. And I was like, what's happening? And I had to realize, you know what? My team is focusing on the end results. They're focusing on that big apple tree. They're focusing on the money. And I was like, whoa, let's dial back. Everybody needs to focus on their journey. Right? So I started being more proactive about posting my personal development, and I went out and I freaking hated it, but I got a bikini. I don't wear no bikini, so I got my first one, and because I'm on a bodybuilding journey. Next year I'm going to do the classic for Summit, and I showed them. I was like, you guys, like, I got a bikini. Like, if you've never gotten one, let's get one. Let's bang out these results for the summer. And so you have to remember that this business, like your team feeds off your energy. So if you want them to remember that the biggest project that they're ever going to work on is themselves, you got to show them through your actions, right? So I made them refocus and tell them, I know you want that beautiful apple, you want that big apple tree, but you got to remember, you got to work on the soil, and you got to water that tree. You got to work on all that stuff, and then the money will come, and then the tree will come. So when I say you got to work on the seed and the soil, I'm talking about you got to work on you, right? So if I have a coach and they're not doing that, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell them like how it is. I'm going to say, put on your big girl panties, go throw out all the junk in your refrigerator, right? Ain't nobody told you to go buy that chocolate. Like, did you read your personal development? Did you, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just move on. I'm like, I'm going to hit Success Club, and if you want to be with me, then I've given you all the tools. So the biggest advice that I could tell you is you are responsible to people, but not for them. So you do everything that you said you were going to do, and if they meet you halfway, well, then you meet them even further. And that's it. That's just the way I tell my team as soon as they sign up with me. I'm going to be a hard ass on you. Sorry if there's any kids, but I'm going to be a hard ass on you because you came to me to build this business, because you came to me to change your family's life, to change your life. You didn't come to me to be your best friend. So if there's ever a time where something in your life happens and you need me to back off, tell me. Until then, I'm going to be a hard ass on you, and every time I message you, it's going to be about the business, right? If you want to talk about something else, then I need to know. And when I tell my coaches that, as soon as they come into this business, they don't take any offense when I'm like, hey, are you at Success Club yet? And that's the first thing I say, because I set them up with certain expectations, right? And if they don't move forward, then they know, oh, it's my fault. Like seriously, like there's no victim mindset in my team. And if I have somebody post that way, I squash it immediately. Like you're choosing to be a victim. You're choosing for this not to work for you. So I kind of got off on a rant, but that stuff pisses me off these days because you change your mind, you change your life. You guys you have to remember that you choose what you do with your 24 hours. We all have the same, that's your money. Your real money in life is time, and you choose how you spend it.
Amen to that. Question. So here's another one. So do you use Facebook at all? Do you have a like page? And so I know you said you don't use Instagram. So do you use any program like that, or are you simply organic with obtaining followers?
Yeah. So I post 4 to 5 times a day religiously. Like I wake up at 3 o'clock. I know it sounds crazy, but I go to bed like at 8:30. And I just made that non-negotiable for myself. When I first started this business, you guys, I was letting my kids wake me up, and I felt rushed. At the end of the day, I was like, I'm not getting my workout in until they're taking a nap, and then I'm not spending time with them. And my kids are it's my faith, my family, then my business, in that order, right? So you have to put your priorities in check. I post religiously. I've just found a flow. Like you could see in my Instagram, my like page is the same. I post the exact same thing. I shut down my Facebook because I wanted to do it in reverse. Every time I have a coach come in and they tell me they don't have an Instagram, I'm like, okay, well, you got to start somewhere. I started somewhere. So that's why I closed down my Facebook, because I wanted to see if I could do it in reverse. I'm not trying to tell you to close down your Facebook, because I didn't build my business through Facebook, and that's why I could do it. I didn't care. It took me a year to build my like page to where it's at right now, after closing down my Facebook. And I just post the same thing, but I don't promote my like page or use it because I attract coaches who come into this business with no money. So I always try to stay humble and grounded and remind myself I'm attracting people who are broke. So I need to have the mindset of that I'm still broke no matter how much money I make, because that's who I'm attracting, and I gotta build them that way. So I got a like page, I have an Instagram, but I really build on Instagram. And I mean, you can look at my Instagram, and I post. It just comes organically now. Like you just got to become a good storyteller. I just post about like every morning I post a quote, and I just mini blog about how I feel, or I give people motivation. It doesn't get that many likes, but I have people tell me every day I go to your page because I want to see what you wrote. And that's the only reason that I keep doing it, even though it doesn't get many likes. And what I can say about likes, it's just because people don't click the like doesn't mean that they're not watching. It's already been proven through marketing analysis and all that kind of stuff that people are lazy. They seriously just don't want to take the 2 seconds to press like, especially because of Facebook. On Facebook, if you press like, what happens? Like if it's somebody who's popular, you're going to get blown up, right? And I really don't like it. So that's the reason why I don't press like on a lot of stuff. So it transferred over to Instagram. So if somebody doesn't click like on your stuff, it's not because they're not watching. It's just because people are lazy, right? So just keep continuing to post and things will pick up for you. I post my transformation pictures like every day almost. Seriously. Like I don't care if it's you're saying the same thing over and over again in a different way. And that's what I do.
And I want to add on that, guys, that remember especially a lot of newer coaches on here, veteran coaches who are maybe coming back, getting back on their wind, realizing that Elyse is here just as long as I have, 3 years in. And like she's described, she has, just like myself, she has never missed a day of posting. She's never missed a day of being consistent. And so when in terms of growing your business, there's two ways people can grow their business. And I genuinely believe this. You either have money or you have time, right? And so when people don't have any money, then they need to be willing to spend their time. And I think it's that time and that consistency. And so those of you who are asking, how does she grow her Instagram organically? It's because when I met this girl, when I saw her on Instagram, those of you who have been following her, when she was first starting, she was aggressive in a good way. She was posting like 9 times a day, like every 2 hours, this girl was posting. And that consistency is why she started growing. And obviously she had put, go ahead.
Let me say this about Instagram, you guys, because I really, really like the marketing part about it. I don't like school, but I don't know why I like the marketing part about Instagram. So I know a lot of stuff about it. But so the cap on Instagram is you can follow 7,500 people, okay? So I'm in Hawaii. It's 3 o'clock for me. Over on the East Coast, it's already 9 o'clock for you guys, right? So you can reach so many more people because you're just the time zones and your posts only live for 24 hours. So say I'm one person, right? And I'm following you and I'm following the cap 7,500 people. If you post, the chances of me seeing your post, if everybody else on my Instagram posts at the same time, is 1 in 7,500. So once I found that out, I was like, man, I'm gonna just post all the time. So I did, right? When I first started, I would like invite, I see a question over here. When I first started, I would invite and make hard posts 2 times a day, and then I'd go back and delete one of them. Because I would be like, well, these people are asleep, and these people are just waking up. Maybe they didn't see it, and I would just post it again. Like the same thing. But I wouldn't do that on Facebook. I would do it on Instagram. I would just be relentless. And now I feel like I got a better grip of what I'm doing. My funnel's more full, so I don't post that much. But if you're a new coach, you need to post more. So every 2 hours is like, that's the cap, I would say, every 2 hours. And then you can go back and delete it if it's too much, so when somebody does look at your overall profile, they don't see like, she's posting the same thing over and over. But that's just some of the numbers behind it. But once I figured out that I could talk to people through my likes no matter what, through the system I just showed you, I stopped making as many hard posts because I was like, oh, I can be proactive and I can build the relationship. I don't have to have people fall into my lap. So I hope that answers your question. I saw it. And then I saw somebody else's question said that you're a gym goer too and you prefer lifting and you feel a little stuck. What I tell people is that, even though I lift in the gym, right, I don't care what you do. Like, I know that you can't out-exercise poor nutrition. And I'm a regular at the gym that I go to, and I see people, and this is going to sound cocky, but I've lost all my baby weight, and I come back from the gym, go back to the gym after having a baby and stuff, and I see the people that have been there and they haven't changed, and they haven't changed because of food, right? And that's where Beachbody comes in, and that's what I always connect it back to. So when somebody tells me, that, well, why can't you just help me with not Beachbody? I say, I'm with Beachbody because I believe in Shakeology and I believe in the food system. And I know that you can't out-exercise poor nutrition. So it's a total package with me. I'm not going to just teach you workouts, or I'm not going to just teach you about food. Like, I want you to invest in Shakeology. And just so happens, you're going to get the workouts with it. Just so happens, you're going to get containers with it. Right? And then I expand on that. And I always tell them, you cannot out-exercise poor nutrition. If you're coming to me because you want my advice as a coach, then I feel like you trust me and this is what I want you to do. And if you're not willing to do that, well, then I'm not the right coach for you. And I'm just confident in my delivery. I tell them, your results are a reflection of me. And this is how I've helped everybody and myself get results. So if you're coming to me, then that must mean you trust me. So why are you not trusting me with this? So I hope that answers your question, Lauren. I think that's...
Wait, there's one more, sorry. So someone says, so when someone's not interested in the coaching opportunity, but just wants to use Shakeology for a while, what do you use to keep those loyal customers? That is, to stay with Shakeology. How's your Shakeology retention, basically? Like, how do you keep your customers on Shakeology?
I have my graduate group, and so I have 300 people in there, and I just, I keep them. I have people who will never ever want to work the business, and they've been with me since I started coaching, and they religiously just drink Shakeology. It's really in your best interest to keep those people not as a discount coach, because you're leaving money on the table. Like, if you know they're never going to build, well, then you know it's not really unless you need a placeholder for like you're going to lose your diamond or you're trying to build diamond, we'll then offer them the discount. But if they know that they're never going to build and it's not for them, like you can tell with really shy people, like it's never going to work out for them probably, or they're older, like older, you know what I mean? Like you can just tell from some people. I've had one girl who just told me flat out, like, thank you for the discount, but I don't like it. And I'm just going to go like just be a regular customer. Right. I have my graduate group and I post in there every day, and I kind of feel like that's my little family. Like the people who are just, you'll see who your religious Shakeology people are. And I pay attention to them, and I just, every day every month I hit Success Club 10. So within their first 30 days, those people are my baby, right? Those new clients, those are my babies. And I have to move. You've got to move on, right? You got to help more people. And if you set them up correctly, then they'll want to help themselves. I squash that victim mindset, and I always remind people that it's their choice. It's their choice. It's your choice to get up and do your workouts. It's your choice. And how I coach people too is through my posts. So when I make a post, right, or I'm drinking my Shakeology, I post it in my group. If I decide not to have pizza and my kids are having pizza, I post it in my group. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that you can do to motivate people to keep them on Shakeology in your challenge group. And it always comes back to you. So when I do my personal development, I post it in my challenge group too, because I need them to know the inside change is most important, right? Does that make sense? Like that's how I keep my loyal customers, because they know, all right, well, I'm not seeing results because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's every time somebody comes back to me, it's, Elyse, I need your help. I fell off the wagon, and I know it's because I haven't done X, Y, Z, right? And they've just been hiding from me. So hope that helps.
And then someone else asked, I have a friend who wants more out of life but has no money. Do you ever help them out? And what I think they're asking is, have you ever purchased something for someone, or like, yeah.
You can't do that. You can't buy something for somebody. That's against Beachbody rules. So the best thing that I can tell you is, at the beginning of my story, I said that I was very, very broke. And I had my dad pay a bill for me so I can join Beachbody. And for me, I told him in my first 30 days, I'm going to pay you back. And I did. And when somebody really wants something, they'll make it happen. I was spending money on stupid stuff at the time also. And I needed to invest in myself. When you give somebody something for free, right? And you can see it in your free groups. They don't take it seriously, right? Even what I can tell you is, like, even if you have somebody join a free clean eating group, try to get them to invest in sending you $5 PayPal for a sample of Shakeology. Because when they have that $5 commitment, even if it's something simple, right, they're gonna be more invested in it, right? Because they're giving themselves some type of value, even if it's $5, right? But if you just give somebody something for free, probably the Shakeology is going to sit on their counter. They're not going to see the value. They're not serious in it. So if somebody really wants something, they'll make it happen. I think it was Amy Silverman. She was living in her car, and she found a way to afford Shakeology. Like, you got to help, you got to just be relentless, put them in a free group until they're ready. And that's the way it's going to be. Yes. If when they see you get results, they'll want it. Yeah. So I have a free group, and I put people in there, and I tell them, you know what, I want to help you, period. So I'm going to put you in my free group until you're ready. And then they stay in there until they're ready, and I follow up with them. Every month I clean that group out, and I make sure that I'm following up, and I'm like, how are you doing? Are you ready? And, Stephanie has a good system, better than me. I'm pen and paper.
And then one more question. How often are you doing heart invites on IG? Since your post only lasts 24 hours, do you do a lot of jab, 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 which is the value, or do you do more right hooks?
These days, I mean, if you're a new coach, you should be making more hard posts. You could do it once a day, twice a day, like I said. But to be honest, like sometimes I just need to slow down. Like right now I'm at Success Club 18, and then I have 4 points on my husband. So that means that I have 11 new clients. Plus I have my team, right? So, and I have my kids. You know what I mean? So like, you got to feel it out. If you're just starting, you guys, like, yeah, get to Success Club 50. When I first started this business, I didn't have a team, right? I needed as many clients as I could to build my team. So I remember when I first started, like my name was on the wake up call for having like 40 something Success Club points. And I was like, I didn't even realize that was a thing. But that's how I build my team, because they came from being my challenge members, from being my clients. But you'll the best thing here, let me share my screen and show you this for those of you that are still on. Oh, how do I take this away? Oh, come on. Sorry, but I want to show you this. My mentor showed this to me right here. It's a really good slide. So you can see even at the 15-star diamond rank, 50% of what the coach is doing is recruiting and 50% is team building, okay? So what that says to you is if you're a coach, 100% of your time should be recruiting, right? If you're a diamond, 90% of your time should be recruiting, not team building, right? Because again, your team does what you do. So what happens is you're going to get that one coach and you're going to try to put all your time into them. No, they learn by what you do, right? So if you make a really good post it and then put it in your team page, right? Whatever energy you have, you need to put it in your team. I took a screenshot of my personal development and I showed them what I did. I took a picture this morning of my to-do list, what I have to do for my business on one side, what I have to do for my house, for my chores, for my kids on the other side. I posted that for my team and I showed them, this is what I'm doing for the day, right? Like everything that I do, I just try to put that back into my team so they can just learn. Like that's the best thing that you can do. When my house is a mess, I go live in my team page and I show them, look, you guys, I'm at Success Club 20 and I make 6 figures, and look at this disaster that my house is in, and my kids running around just his diaper. And like your team is going to feed off your energy and they're going to learn that it's okay and from you, right? You should just be recruiting and then just putting that energy into your team, right? So all the systems will fall into place, but I can say this. Take my story about what happened with my mentor and know that if the coach really wants it, they can make it happen without you. They can. All right. I keep going off in little rants, but.
All right. Well, thank you so, I can answer this one. How is a free group different from a paid group? So Tatiana, so this is basically the free clean eating challenge groups or free Beachbody on Demand groups. And basically you can offer them to people who are following you. You can promote for them the same way. You can offer them, basically they're usually about five-day clean eating challenges, or you can do a 2-week Beachbody on Demand kind of free trial. And the idea is that obviously they're not buying anything from you, but you're giving them something they end up potentially being leads for you. So you're obviously going to provide them value in their free group. You're going to provide them with a meal plan, etc. And so that's how it's different than from a paid group, because those people, the paid group are challengers who have purchased from you. What's your response to people who want to purchase stuff from Amazon or eBay?
I mean, I just tell them that anytime that you're investing in Beachbody or this business in some kind of way is time away from your family, right? And you're valuable. Every time somebody steps outside their door, they have to make a living. And so I'm just real with people, and I tell them, because a lot of people don't know, I say, when you buy from eBay or you buy from Amazon, you're bypassing having a coach. And even though I'm not in this business to make an income, right? I'm first and foremost in this business to help myself and help other people. That's how I provide for my family. And I just tell people, and I say, so when you purchase through eBay or Amazon, you're cutting me out of the whole system. And I feel like that's unfair to me. And what the responses that I get from people is that like, oh, I had no idea. I didn't know that you didn't get paid for coaching. And you say, oh no, that's okay. This way is better because you're getting something more of value than just me. You're getting an entire system, right? So, I'm serious. Like my time away from my family is my time away from my family. And if somebody can't respect that and they get nasty with me, I'm going to be like, well, every time you go to work, that's time away from your family. What if your boss told you that you want to go into work for free? So people get it. Like I just tell them, they don't really understand usually. If they want to go that route, that's cool. I guarantee you they're not going to see results unless they're very self-motivated on their own. And that's hard to come across for somebody who's starting off on their journey. It's rare. Like 25% of people can do it on their own, right? Without some kind of system.
And Elyse, if you have to get off, that's fine. I don't want to take more of your time. So the paid group is only for Challenge Pack people. Yes. So yes, Annalise. So ideally, well, it depends, Annalise. You have to decide for yourself. Like I will personally, and like Elyse for the most part, she's a hard ass, she said, about Challenge Packs. So she will, for the most part, the people in her group are 99% of the time going to have a Challenge Pack. I am of the mindset where I will take someone who purchases 21 Day Fix based program, and put them in the group. And so this has to be a decision on your side of what you want to do. And so, and there are coaches who do it both ways. You just have to decide kind of how you want to run. Go ahead, Elyse.
I was going to say, I do it backwards. Like if somebody only purchases a 21 Day Fix and goes around my back and doesn't tell me, I only put them in my free group because I tell them it's not fair for my people who have made the total investment in themselves for me to put you in there. And so I hype the group up. I'm like, this is for people who are 100% committed, and I never kick you out. I will forever be your coach from this time on, and you can always come to me for anything that you need. And then I put them in the other group. Once you have that mindset of I'm my own CEO, I'm boss, and you talk to people that way, they will respect you and they get it. Like I have a girl who signed up this month who's been following me for 3.5 years before I even started my Instagram. When I first started my Instagram, before I started Beachbody, and she just now signed up. Like, you just have to give people time. If they really want it, if they really trust you, just be boss about it and they'll come back around. But the only way they'll come back around is if you just stay consistent with your journey.
Absolutely. And so it's just kind of deciding what works best for you, how you want to run your business, and just sticking with it. I think one thing you can tell from myself, from Elyse, from other people who you've seen on this call, is that we're clearly very confident in how we feel about our business, right? We respect our business. And, this is what I said on the team on a call yesterday, where I said, if you don't, if you're not confident about what you're selling, what you're standing up for, what you're representing, no one else is going to be confident there for you. If you don't respect your business, enough, or respect your business at all, or you only see this as like a joke or a hobby, guess what? Everyone else is going to do the same, right? So you have to set that precedence and have that, and really kind of have that confidence. Even if you feel like you don't have it yet, you have to kind of, like Elyse, you have to put it on. You have to put it on, and you have to, do your personal development. You have to really kind of take on that hat of the CEO if that's what you want to do, right? Like a lot of you on this call, you're on here because that's what you want to do. And so we're speaking specifically to that person. Obviously, if you don't and you just want to just be on your fitness journey, that's okay too. And, and we're here to support you, either way. But if you want to build your business, it takes that confidence, it takes that belief in yourself, and it takes that time and that consistency, that Elyse is showing you, and that myself has shown you, other people have shown you who have been guest speakers. And if you're someone that you're taking off for a week, for 2 weeks, guys, that's not gonna cut it. You can't be doing that, and at the end of it, it's just like I always say, you would never just lock up your shop. You would have a lot of anxiety if you had a physical shop and it was sitting there and there was no, flow going in and out because it was locked. You would not be at home chilling, hanging out, doing whatever. You would have a lot of anxiety around it. And so, really understanding that. And this is the beauty of having a virtual business, is that you can do it from anywhere. And sometimes I know that mindset can be hard to put on. But
so the biggest thing that I just want to end you guys with is that for me, the quote that's been playing, because like I said, I'm on a bodybuilding journey and I've never done it before. And it's like, I feel like it's the hardest physical thing I've ever had to do. Eric Thomas is my favorite motivational speaker, and the quote that I hear constantly all the time, like when I'm going to make a bad food choice, or if I don't want to go and lift, sometimes I got to go 2 times a day if I can't do it all the way in the morning, like just really hard things that I don't want to do. Even with my business, the one quote that I want to leave you guys with is, if you're not who you want to be, if you're not where you want to be in life, it has nothing to do with the system, and it has everything to do with the fact that you're not willing to make the sacrifices to get yourself there. And that's the quote that's been playing through my mind like almost all year that I heard him say. So just think about that. Like if something's not working out for you, it's probably because you're not making the sacrifice in some kind of way, and you got to be proactive. Take your 5 minutes to complain and whine about it, but be proactive and take action and figure out how to fix it. So anyways, thanks for having me on the call. I'm super hungry, so.
Thank you, Elyse. Thank you, Elyse. You can go ahead and bow down. I'm just going to answer. You can go ahead and go. But thank you so much for taking time from your beautiful family and for coming on. Like I said, a lot of these girls really do follow you and admire you on Instagram.
Wow. I'm impressed about how many people are on. Like seriously.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So you can go ahead. I'm just going to go answer this last question but you can go ahead.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, Elyse. Thank you. Lauren had asked, do you eventually get to a point where you feel like it's your business? How long did it take for you to feel that way? I don't have a name for myself or anything yet. I just want to address that, guys, it all depends. I mean, I think in the beginning, I'll tell you right now, when I first started, I didn't know how far this was going to grow. I didn't know that it would become, an over 1,000 person team and how big it would become. That vision had not been placed there yet, but I had that vision of wanting to help 3 people every single month, knowing that's what I needed to do to advance my business. And so I stuck with that. As it grew and as I continued to grow and as I continued to talk to more people, that vision continued to evolve. And so in the beginning, this team was actually called Everyday Strong. It wasn't called Healthier You. It actually took me about a year before I came up with a name, but that was a year and I was still having a lot of success in my business a year in. And so it's not that you need to have everything, all your ducks in the line in terms of, logos and names. That's not important. Like at the end of the day, what's important is really understanding and realizing that your 4 vital behaviors, our 4 vital behaviors as coaches, is having that become habitual, right? Having that become such a habit that you live it, you live it, you breathe it like that. You have to almost, in a sense, have a little mini obsession with your business. And that's me being 100% honest, like those people who have success, you do become a little bit obsessed with your business. You become obsessed with wanting to reach out to people and wanting to perfect your photos and wanting to perfect your approach. But all of that comes, right, through trial and error and trying different things and being willing to fail forward and being willing to try things again. And that's just how, it goes. So you don't necessarily need to have all those things and have a name for yourself. But from the very beginning, I would say that probably a couple months in, I kind of really started to get this big picture. And even though I had no idea how in the world I was going to make it there, I was like, I'll make it there, right? I'm going to make it there regardless. And I will figure it out. But I'm going to figure it out by sticking to the basics. And like Elyse was alluding to, these past couple months, it's been, across the board, it's just kind of been where everyone is sticking to the basics, guys. And it's all about and I like that she talked a lot about challengers, because take this from me, from someone who has, almost 3 years in, like I said, my failures, what I've learned. I know everyone wants that quick success. They want the money. If you're chasing the money, you're not going to have success in this business. I never came in chasing the money. So, but understanding that if you chase wanting to change one person's life every single month, you're going to have success going that way. And so all of last year, I built on discount coaches, and that's not the way to go. And I've actually taken a step back, and I'm recruiting more challengers now, even though I know that's going to be a slower approach, but I'm genuinely trying to help them get results. I'm trying to elevate them. I'm trying to help them, believe in our products, knowing that in the long run, those are the people, like she was saying, 70% of diamond coaches, 70% of builders come from challenge groups. So that means I need to help people with a challenge group. And all of those people who I recruited last year, I reached out to them. Like a lot of like what I did this month, and I have a kick-ass group running this month for the first time in a long time. So if you're stressing out about your challenge groups, look, I'm here raising my hand saying that I've run shitty challenge groups and I actually wasn't running a good one. And guess what? It does, I didn't throw in the towel. I said, okay, how can I fix this? Let's get back to the basics. And that kind of resourcefulness, right? That kind of, persistence in wanting to always improve and wanting always to add value. And so what I did this month was that I sent an email to the past people who bought from me in the past 5 to 6 months, because I genuinely know that I didn't bring them in the right way. And I just said, hey, I want to bring you in. I want to help you with a challenge. I want to help you get through your program that you purchased from me. And I ran a group with them and they're doing really, really awesome. I'm using the challenge tracker app. And so really your customers who have purchased from you, if you want to just kind of start fresh with that and just kind of reach back out to them and try to get them genuinely wanting to get them results, right? This is not about the sale. These people have already bought from me. This is about going back in and saying, I made this commitment to you. You made this commitment to me. Let's help you get results. And they really responded to that because they didn't need to buy anything. They had everything they needed. And I'm offering, I have weekly prizes. I have a monthly prize. I'm doing, I'm giving away a t-shirt to anyone who submits a before and after. And this is just me adding value to these customers, right? And so, just kind of, I'm just kind of sharing that with you guys because challenge groups are so important and challengers are so important. And when we go around chasing money, people are not money. People are not dollar signs. People are people. And so really genuinely looking at the people who have bought from you and asking yourself, have you been there to the best of your capability? If you have, and you've done it, you feel like you've given 100%, good. And because at the end of the day, you can't make someone work out. Like you can't make them eat well. But if you genuinely, like myself, I could raise my hand and say that, I did not, I was not there. I was not there for them the way that I did. I then, bye Lenny. I then, I knew that I needed to take a step back and just really offer that to them. And so if you guys are always, looking at your business that way, how can I add value to the people who have bought from me? And then knowing that if you can get those success stories, then you can share those success stories, right? Then you can really inspire and motivate other people because now and you're going to feel good because you're going to have, like, I woke up this morning to a woman on my, on my challenge group who was like leaving me a floor of text messages because she finally is getting her pre-baby body back and she feels amazing. And she's sending me all these pictures. And this is someone who signed up as a discount coach. And in a way, I kind of I let her go. But now I invited her back in. She signed up like 8 months ago. I invited her back in and she's doing so well. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. And so just remembering kind of, not to give up on your challenges because you just never know, when they'll come around and they'll have that success. They'll have that belief in themselves and they'll really want to kind of pay it forward. So do you guys have any other questions? Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. Sending an email. I simply sent an email and I said, hey, it's July. It was for June, but ideally it's July. July 5th, let's start over again. I know I need to get back in shape. It's, everyone's going to be after the barbecue. Like I would say that in the email, and let's just get on track together. And what I like about the challenge tracker is that you can really know who's doing their Shakeology, who's submitting their workouts. So it's a really nice way to be able to just count them in and just really, especially if you want to give a raffle. And guys, my raffles are really inexpensive. They're like $10 weekly Target gift cards, right? Like, and it's all about incentivizing them. And just, people love incentives. So just being able to, and at the end, I'm giving away a 3-day refresh because I have like 6 of them here. And so, just using what I have. And this month I'm going to be making a free t-shirt and that's because, like I said, I just genuinely, this is what I really want to work on for myself and so is the challenge group. So I'm putting in a lot of investment this month and hopefully moving forward in terms of just getting them involved. So Any other questions? And you guys can obviously hang up at any time. This now is a good time to thank you guys, for coming on, but now's a good time to ask any other questions. Does Beachbody sell packages at Summit? What do you mean by packages, Elyse? I don't understand what you mean by packages. You wanna, does it sell packages, 3-day reset? So they don't sell, no. Well, you probably might be able to buy the Ultimate Reset, the package. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't remember. They only sell the most recent. So at Summit, Country Heat will be coming out. And so at Summit, Country Heat will be sold. So I don't recall any other video program being sold, and they don't sell Shakeology, for example. They don't, at Summit though, if you're going to Summit, you're going to want to, it's a huge haul of apparel and gear, and it's amazing. You got to really budget for it. I easily spent like $600. And so it's just, obviously, you budget what you can. But usually it's just the Country Heat. And Country Heat will be coming out as Summit, for those of you who are wondering when it comes out. It will, you can do it for you or to give away, or and you can resell it. I didn't resell anything, but I just kind of gave it away. But I didn't resell. So it's not what I did. But definitely they'll have like shaker cups, and they'll have like little bands, like wristbands. It all depends. I don't know. We'll see what they have this year. But last year they had like sweatbands that said like 21-day fix, stuff you can't find all the time online. And so it's nice. You can pick up a couple of those and, give those away as to your challengers, etc. So it'll be interesting to see what they have this time. But they always have lots of stuff. So definitely look forward to that, because it's really nice. Anything else? But yeah, awesome. I'm going to stop.